Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in our previous lecture we learned about descriptive lists and also about anchor tags. In our today's lecture we're going to learn about embedding media in our HTML files. So we're going to learn about embedding videos in our HTML file. How can we actually add videos to our HTML file? What kind of tags do we need to do that? Along with that, we will also see how can you add audio files in your HTML file. Also today we're going to learn how to embed websites in our web pages, and also how can you actually embed a website that is present on your computer locally. How can you embed web pages that you have created? So without any further delay, let's begin. Okay guys, so as you can see I have already created a new file over here and we have named it media.html. The file is also opened inside of Google Chrome so that we can view the outputs. So in the title I'm gonna say media, as we're gonna learn how to embed media in our HTML files. So the first tag that I'm gonna use today is going to be video tag. How can we add videos that are already present in our computer? So the tag that we require in order to add videos in our HTML file is known as video. So if I select the tag, as you can see the tag is over here. So the first thing that we're gonna need is going to be a video. So as you can see over here, I have created a folder and it has a video that is called demo. So if you want to look at the extension of this video, you can right click, choose properties, and in the properties you can see that the extension is .mp4. So let's see how can we add this video in our HTML file. So over here in the video I'm going to say src like this, and then I'm going to select it. So over here I'm going to write the name and the extension of the video. So the name of the video is demo dot and the extension is mp4. I'm going to press Ctrl S and let's see if this works. As you can see guys, our video has appeared, but it is really big. So what can we do to resize it? And as you can see right now there are no controls that are showing on the screen. It's just like I have added a black image. So now let's see how can we add controls, and then we will see how can we also adjust the size of this video. So over here I'm gonna say controls. I'm gonna save this, refresh. As you can see guys, now the controls of the video are appearing. Over here you can see we have a play and pause button. We can play and then we can pause, and over here we have a volume cracker. We can mute it. We can also enlarge the video if we want, and you have another option that says picture in picture. If you click it, your video goes over here. Okay, so now let's see how can you resize this video. Over here I will write width, and let's give it a width of 400 pixel. I'm going to press Ctrl S, refresh. As you can see our video has adjusted to our needs. You can also increase and decrease the height of the video using the height tag and giving it a value in pixels. Similarly I can say 600 pixel, and I'm going to press Ctrl S. I'm going to refresh. As you can see the size has increased accordingly, and over here guys you can also write the controls as this and nothing really changes. All you have to do is just leave this empty, and as you can see nothing will change and we have the same controls. So these are two ways to write controls. Either you can write it with an equal and inverted commas, or you can write without it like this, and if you save it it's gonna work perfectly fine. So guys, now that we know how to add videos in our HTML file, let's see how can you add audios in your HTML file. Okay guys, so in order to add audio files into your HTML, you use a tag called audio. So as you can see we have a suggestion of audio over here. So inside of this tag we used an other tag that is known as source. So for this type of file that is audio, we cannot just write src over here because that will be wrong. We won't be able to include our file like this. So for this purpose we use an additional attribute that is known as source. So as you can see, as an auto select source, it has src and also it has type. So let's see how can you add an audio file using these tags. Okay guys, so as now you can see, I have an audio file over here that is called demo. If I want to see the extension of this audio file, I can just right click, I can go into properties, and as you can see, I have an extension of .mp3. so let's see how you can add this audio file in your HTML file. So I go back to HTML. In the source, I write the name and the extension. So I'm gonna write the name, that is demo, and the extension is .mp3. so if I write .mp3 over here, and we're pretty much set. So in the type, I'm going to write what kind of type, what kind of extension, what kind of file I'm going to add in my HTML file. So this is an audio file. I'm simply going to write audio, put a slash, and I'm going to say what kind of extension this is. For in my case, it is mp3, so I'm going to write mp3 over here. I'm going to save it, and as we refresh in our Google, you can see nothing really changes over here. The reason is that in order for an audio file to get visible, you have to add controls. So let's add controls, and I can just leave it empty, it doesn't really matter. I will just say Control S, refresh, and as you can see, our file has now appeared. Again, you have a play and pause button. Over here you have a volume cracker, and that's about it. So this is how easily you can add your audio files into your HTML files. Okay guys, so now we're going to learn how can you add an external file into your HTML file, something that is present online that is not on your computer. How can we link those files? How can we place those files inside of our web page? So in order to do that, we are going to use a tag that is called iframe. So we write iframe. And the second thing that we need is an src. So that basically means a link over here that will basically allow you to put a file on your web page, to show that file, to make it appear on your web page. So over here, I'm just going to close it, and also we put a closing tag over here. So now let's see how can you actually embed or place a Google map inside of your web page. So for that, I'm going to go into Google Maps. As you can see over here, I've already searched for United States. I'm just going to close this, and now you can see that over here I have an option of share. So if I just press share over here, you can see there is an option called embed a map. I'm going to go into embed a map now, and now you can see that there is an HTML written over here, and you have an option of copy HTML. So you're going to copy HTML. And also one thing to note over here, guys, that iframe tag has already been included. So that means that all you do is copy this and paste it inside of your HTML file's body. So over here, I'm just going to jump here. I'm going to remove this as our iframe has already been included in that HTML code we just copied, and I'm just going to paste it over here. As you can see, we have the width, we have the height over here, and also there is a source, that is the URL to this page. So I'm just going to press Ctrl S, go into my file, press refresh. As you can see, our Google map has appeared. So also, if you want to increase the width, or you want to decrease the width, or you want to move it into the center or anything, for that purpose you can only go into the width. Over here you only have to resize it. I will give it 1300 pixel, and I'm just going to save this. And as you can see now, it will change it. It has changed its size. Now it's still here. So similarly, you can also move it. It's fully working. You can also zoom in and zoom out. So whenever you have to give an address, this is going to be really useful in your website. So as now we know how to add external files, now let's see how you can add an internal file that is present already on your computer onto your web page. So let's see. Okay guys, so now we're going to learn how can we actually add an internal file that is present on our computer into our web page. So as you can see, I have created a file called embed.html in my folder, and if I open this file, you will be able to see that this is just a demo file. We have a heading, this is an embedded file, and over here we have a lot of dummy paragraphs. So now let's try to add this file, embed this file in our media file. So I'm in media file. I'm going to use my tag that was iframe. So I'm going to use iframe over here, and then I have to give it a source and src. So the src basically is going to be the name and the extension of file. So as you can see, the name of the file is embed, as in embed, and I'm going to write embed, and I'm going to give it an extension. And obviously, as we know that all of our HTML files have an extension of html.html, so I'm just going to write that over here, and over here I can just close it, and I have to close the iframe tag. Let's press Ctrl S over here, and if I open this file, this is the file that we embedded. So in our media, as you can see, our file appears and we can scroll down. So it's not basically linked, it's actually embedded onto our file. So obviously, as you know, if you want to increase the width and the size, we can just do that by adding width over here. And over here we can just add whatever pixels, how many pixels we want it. I'm going to say increase to 400 pixels maybe. Over here we set 400 and pixel. Okay, and just add commas. Ctrl S, refresh, and as you can see, the width has increased. Obviously, if you want to increase it in height, we can just write height over here, and we can just say maybe 500 pixels. Ctrl S, and if you refresh, as you can see, it has increased in terms of height too. So this is how easily we can add in external documents, external files, HTML files, online files, anything we want through embedded media. This is for sure a very, very interesting topic. So now I'm going to go back to my HTML file. So now for today, we have learned how to add videos, how to add audios, also external files and also internal files. So this was our lesson for today, guys. I really hope you understood each and everything that we tried to learn today. In the next class, we will learn how to make tables. So stay tuned, and I will see you in the next one.